Radhe friends. So today we have Rajaramji with us, and rather than me giving his background, Rajaramji, please tell our viewers, like when did you come to US and how did you grow up, so that people know the context.
Namaskar. As told, my name is Rajaram. I came to the United States in 1978 as a child.
Almost 50
In
years.
1978 was a whole different period now. One single Indian was here.
How old were you at that time?
I was pretty young. I was in fifth standard. Let's leave it at that.
Okay.
I was in fifth standard according to the Indian, or fifth grade according to America.
Yeah.
And at that point, very few Indians were here, landed at JFK Airport, and stayed in Hoboken, New Jersey for a while. And then we moved. We moved from there to Jersey City, and then from Jersey City to Edison, New Jersey. So now Hoboken has an Indian mayor. Jersey City is a huge Indian population town. It's a mini India over there. And then Edison, not only mini India, but we also have an Indian mayor. So therefore, the Indian population in the United States has done tremendous volume. But when I first came here, we were lucky we had a handful of Indians. So to get any type of ration or groceries was so difficult. We used to go to Chinatown to buy vegetables and stuff to bring it home to cook.
No Patel brothers at that time.
No. But there's one Indian grocery store opened up in Hoboken in 1979 in the basement. It was a very small and very expensive.
Gujarati traders, right? Some Gujarati.
Some businessmen at that point. Yeah. So, and then, my entire education was done right here in the United States from fifth standard all the way through my graduate degree.
Yes.
I did it right here in the United States. And currently, I am so blessed because I get to go to Vidya Kendra and teach. At one point, we had 300 students where I taught.
No, Rajan, we will come to this again later. First, you tell us what were some incidents or some instances of Hindu phobia or bullying you for being Indian or Hindu in your school time and college.
I'll be very honest, 1978 through 1983, we didn't have 1980, I would say, we didn't have much bullying. 1978 to 1980, the Indian population was so small that we were appreciated much. 1980, for some reason, what happened is that, like there were pockets of populations all over the United States. And as Indians, we didn't have our own population or pocket. So we tried to go get housing wherever possible. And at one point, when you get into a population of a hegem, where there's one type of population and another one is entering, you always find a little resistance and stuff.
Yeah.
So 1980 started to see some little bit of anti-Indian phobia at that point.
There was a population was growing and we were creating our pockets, huh?
No, we were not creating pockets. We were actually trying to live among other pockets.
Okay.
So when you go into another pocket, there's always resistance, because there's a change coming through.
Okay.
By 1983, my family, my mom, my dad, my sister, and myself, we had moved into a fully Caucasian population.
Okay. Which area was it?
It was in the Heights section of Jersey City.
Okay. Okay.
And for a little while, it was okay. There was not much. But then all of a sudden, they started to inquire about our religion.
Okay.
because we would not attend their churches. Like these people would be very
Sunday masses.
no, but they would only, if they lived in a community, they went to that church. They didn't go to another church.
Right.
Going from one church to another was considered,
Blasphemy, apostasy.
not just blasphemy, like traitor.
Traitor.
Back then, if you belonged to a church and you went to another church, so within the community, if there was a church, everybody of the community went there.
That's true even today, right?
Yeah, but for most part, people's mindsets had changed, but we'll get into that
Okay.
also in a minute.
Okay.
And when it came to my family, my father was Tamilian, my mother was Punjabi.
Right.
So we were totally Bharatiya Sanatanis.
Yeah. The true.
We held Satyanarayan Puja at home. We held Yajna Havans at home, which was a little strange to these people.
True.
And they were not invited because we didn't know them.
Yeah. They wouldn't appreciate and they might comment something which might be
The
offensive.
comments were always there, regardless. So at one point, what happened is that they started to get very animosity against us because by 83 we had a full population of Gujaratis here. The women proudly wore saris. They had bindis on their heads.
Dotbusters was in it.
And so the darts became very popular back. And then a group which didn't appreciate us or who couldn't understand what we are, what our culture is, seeing non-Caucasians entering. Because don't forget, when we came here and you lived in a Caucasian neighborhood, you were the minority. You were the non-white living there, which meant that their area was being taken over. So they literally decided to push people out of the neighborhood.
How did they do that?
At one point, they started with verbal abuses, saying, Gandhi or Dotheads. They say, yo, Dothead. That was a nickname given to us. But there's one thing everyone should realize. In the United States, every ethnic group, regardless of who you are, has gone through
Yes.
the initiation phase.
Yes.
Including the Germans, the Jews,
Italian.
the Italians, the
Chinese.
Irish. The Irish even had it even worse because in Jersey City, there used to be a Colgate factory with a Colgate clock. And under the Colgate clock, there was a big sign, Irish need not apply. So you can't just say,
It was not only us. Every group has.
Every group, Germans went through with their own nicknames. Jews went through with their nicknames. So every European group, Italians especially, they had their own unique nicknames, which, for the sake of this video, I don't want to say it.
No, that's a
But-
good idea.
But when it came to the Indian population, you had two types. You had the Guyanese and you had the Indians.
Oh yeah, like Caribbean in
The Caribbean Indians and
Yeah.
us. The Caribbean Indians lived in New York City. So
Okay.
they were in Flushing area where there was already a mix of Chinese.
A lot of Hindu temples are there.
Hindu temple was
Flushing,
there. The Flushing temple was the only one we had.
Oh, at that time.
So back in 1978, when I first came here, there was only one mandir in the entire area. And for that, we had to walk half a furlong first. I'm using the Indian term so that this way, our Indian audience understands. Half a furlong, then take the metro or the PAT train to New York, take a subway from New York to Flushing, and then walk another mile and a half to the mandir. So you took 2 trains and about 2 miles worth of walk to get to the mandir. So that was like and then when you got to the mandir, you did, and don't forget, being part South Indian, it's a South Indian mandir, so nothing is given. No longer nothing. So you receive, you went there, you purchased ladus, you purchased puliogre, you purchased dahi chawal, tamarind rice, and you brought them home as prasad. And again, to carry everything back, walking and then taking the train. So it was like a full day journey just to go to the mandir. So if you were working, if my dad was working, we couldn't do anything like that. So to keep our heritage alive was very difficult. So my mom what she used to do is this to me and my sister at night times, coming from the Punjabi background, she'd say, before you go to sleep, let me tell you a story.
Stories.
So bedtime stories were unbelievable. Every night, mom would give me some sort of story, either from the Ramayana, the Mahabharata, the
The
Bhagavatam.
tradition is getting lost, like completely lost nowadays.
Well, we can always that's the purpose of this video, to say that
purpose of this video is.
who came here, who did not have anything, who didn't even have any access to resources, maintained it. So my main thing is that, everyone else should maintain. There's no reason why nobody should maintain any such.
When you were able to maintain in 70s, 80s, and 90s, when there was very few Hindus here,
Yep.
now it's much easier than that. We have internet, we have access to everything, and we have much bigger Hindu population. A Flushing area alone has like 5 or 7
Hindu mandirs over there at this point.
Yeah.
So what happened is that by 1985, the Punjabi population started to grow. And we had a significant population in New Jersey and New York. So by 1986, 87, we had a population. Unfortunately, we had mandirs. But again, the problem with the mandirs, pujaris are doing puja. You go there, you do your puja, you do your ardas, you do your archana, and you come home. Nobody is explaining anything.
Yeah.
So the best part was this, that back then we had the VHS tapes, those big VHS tapes. So we used to go as kids to rent a video, and for $1, you rented a video, and you got to keep it for 1 week.
1 week. Okay.
So we used to rent and watch tons and tons of movies. And then our blessed Ramanand Sagarji came out with his Ramayana.
Yeah.
And that Ramayana, we would bring it home, but the problem was this, that the videos would come every other week. So no shopkeeper had a full series. And so he only had 1 or 2 videos. So you had to rush to make sure you got there in time to get the video, bring it home. But guess what? The popular videos, you didn't get to keep it for a week. Had to return it within 2 days.
Popular episodes where maybe Ravan is getting killed or something.
Not Ravan's getting killed. The whole Ramayana series, from beginning to the end. And you know what the funniest part is? As I said, my mother, since childhood back in Bangalore where I lived, and coming here, coming to this country, she used to tell us bedtime stories anyway. So she used to tell us a lot of stories, and I would be like, I would think, is mom making this up or is this for real? And then when I saw Ramanand Sagarji's Ramayana, he says, हमने आज की generation को देख के बनाया है. And at the end of every episode, he would give us some sort of a story, how something's happened. And I'd be like, Mom, you explained the story to us. So whatever my mother taught me and my sister was already justified in Ramanand Sagarji's Ramayana.
Wow.
And these days we have a very popular personality who is a godsend, Bhageshwar Damba.
Yes.
He tells the stories and I'm looking at him and saying, my mother's already taught me everything you're saying. So ultimately, yes, in our heritage, we believe Mata is Pratham Gurus.
Definitely.
In my house, that is Absolutely true.
Rajaramji's Mataji's, uh, we have met. I have met her a couple of times here at Vidya Kendra, and I also shared a Vishnu Sahasranam class with her last year. I was earlier taking Smitaji Sanskrit, so I have met her. So I'm also blessed to have met her, and she at this age, still she has such a zeal to learn, and she's taking Sanskrit classes, Vishnu Sahasranam classes, I guess Lalita Sahasranam as well. Like, yes, she's taking so much classes, and even at this age, she has the zeal to learn and grow in her sadhana and bhakti, and which should be an inspiration for all of us.
The funny part is this, that my mom already knows Sanskrit. And she's still taking Sanskrit class with Smita Ben because she feels, there's a contribution, there's give and take. So no matter what age, no matter who, even though the teachers are younger than her, my mom still feels she's learning a lot more.
Right, it's also about satsangati. If we remain in touch with the like-minded people, dharmic people, so it gives us an excuse to remain in touch with such
Right.
people, right? So that's also
The thing is this, you could know a language, but the pronunciation is so different. Even in English, Indian English, American English, British English, it's so different from each other.
our accents start comparison, right? Why accent, the accent.
Well, the accents are accents. What are you going to do?
So Rajan, tell us about Vidya Ken. So how did you come to know about Vidya Ken? What has been the journey?
The thing with Vidya Kendra was one day my mother told me, because I used to love volunteering. I work and you take care of house with that, but I needed more. So I used to do a lot of civic volunteering and in different places.
Okay.
So one day my mom turned around and said, why don't you do something for our community also? You do so much for for other communities. Why don't you do something for our community? For some reason, I just drove. I don't even come in this area. I've never come in this area. I lived in Jersey City. I've never come in this area. And so one day, there was a Sunday, it was a Saturday evening because that's when the classes used to be held here.
Oh.
Was not on Sunday, it was to be Saturday in the evening.
Okay.
So Saturday evening, I was just driving and no idea why my car was like leading me versus me driving the car. And I just come and all of a sudden I'm like, huh? Hindu Community Center. So I pulled in here, walked into the mandir, and there, a full group of adults and 300 kids are sitting together.
It was back in 2001 or 2, right?
Yes.
Ah.
Actually, no, it was back in, about the 2000, you're right, 2001 or 2, that time period. And there were 300 kids. I came and I sat, and they all chanted, all 300 kids with the adults, not one beat out of way, chanted Sanskrit mantras, and then they all sang the Govinda Damodar Stuti. I literally broke down because we had that back in Bangalore, and even living in the United States, going, as we said, there were so many mandirs. So what happened is that back in 1985 and forward, there was a big Punjabi community here, and they used to do Bhagwati Jagrans during Navratri. So we used to attend one in New Jersey one weekend, and the other one, like one Saturday would be in New Jersey, the other Saturday would be in New York.
Okay.
So we lived in Jersey City. We were in the proximity of both. So we used to go to both places. One weekend we'd attend Jagran in Ved Mandir in Milltown.
Okay.
And then we would attend Jagran in Gita Mandir in Corona, Queens.
Amazing.
And that's how we kept our culture alive. But again, as I said, you had so many mandirs, you had pujas, you had satsangs, you had kirtans, but nobody to explain what your heritage is, nobody to explain what your religion is. You go to a South Indian Pandit, he would tell you just keep chanting the shlokas, you need to have Sanskrit. You go to a North Indian Pandit, he'd say, Naam jap karo. And,
More than that.
that doesn't explain anything to the
Yeah.
kids.
Yeah.
So, but because my mother explained a lot to me, I had something.
Yeah.
But a lot of people that I grew up with, including my
Most-
own
most-
family,
Most do not have.
they got bored because nobody was explaining what's
exactly.
going on. Nobody explained why we were doing what we're
95%
doing.
of families don't.
And they all wound up marrying outside the culture. And today I am so distraught because they really do not know who their ancestors are.
They don't care.
There is a pride in the name, but not
Neither
This is the-
neither Swayambodh nor Shatrubodh. Both are
exactly.
right.
I mean, and especially the kids who are born, you ask them, oh yeah, my dad or mom is Indian. What do you know about it? They know nothing.
Only paneer tikka masala and samosa. That is all they know. Right?
At least they know Panitika Samoa and that. But the problem is this now with the whole new generation coming up, whether it's in India or whether it's here, it's all becoming pizza and burger. We're even losing our paneer tikkas.
Paneer tikka masala is endangered right now.
But paneer tikka masala is not even Bharatiya, it is British. Butter paneer is ours.
Okay.
Ours is butter paneer. They call it paneer tikka.
Okay.
The tikka masala was actually, like for example, we talk about pizza being Italian. Pizza is really not an Italian invention. It's an American invention. The Italians who came here, they because of necessity, they wound up making the pizza. And so because they were Italians who made it, we call it, Italian pizza.
Interesting. Oh. Yeah,
Same thing with paneer tikka. With any tikka masala, it's all British invention. It is not Bharati. For us, Bharatiya, we have Nargis kofta. We have, butter, malai kofta. And we have, butter paneer or saag paneer or, matar paneer.
Uh-huh.
But the tikka masala, the word tikka masala was actually
British. Okay.
the British stole it from us and they kept it as their invention.
Okay. All right. So that was the first day you met Jayesh Bhai?
No, Judge Bay was not here.
Oh, he was not here that.
No, it was Hema Ben who was the principal.
Oh.
So now I'm at Vidya Kendra. I'm sitting and I listen to this whole thing, and all of a sudden, Hema Ben, who was the principal back there of the school, stood up and said, "We have a problem. We have nobody here to teach heritage and Hinduism."
Okay.
Then I realized Bhagwanji's kripa.
It
Those were the mass,
because Devi was sending you
those
here
were the
for some
mass
purpose.
things for me to
Yeah.
come here, and my mother's blessing to say do
Yeah,
something for the
exactly.
community.
Yes, no doubt.
I raised my hand and said, "No, I can teach it," because at that time, by the time 2001-2 had come, I already was a professor at a university.
Right.
And so one of the courses that I taught was on Bhagavad Gita.
Really?
In the university, not a full course, but a small, because when it came to different cultural things, the main professor would invite me to come and do the Bhagavad Gita in her class. So I went in her class and I taught the Bhagavad Gita. So
Okay.
when Hema Ben asked me that, I said, I have taught if you would like. And once I came here, 300 students, 5 classes, 0 pay, 100% volunteer.
So two questions. First, what all people were there at that time? Was Tejalbin there? Any people who are still here, except besides Jayesh Bhai, of course, Jayesh Bhai is the oldest.
Jayesh Bhai is the oldest student,
What are
but
the
he had
people-
also. What happened is that over time, people who had their kids handled the school. Once their kids graduated, they moved on. And so next set came in and stuff like that. What happened is that this is prior to Hurricane Sandy, 2012.
Okay.
Hema Ben, her son graduated, and she still kept going, and finally she got exhausted because if you speak to any of our administrators, there is no pay, there's nothing here, and the work is a lot. It's a passion. After a while, you do get a little burnt out. So Hema Ben handed the torch over.
What
And
courses were being taught at that time here?
the courses being taught was Hindi, Gujarati,
Okay.
Bharatanatyam,
Bharatanatyam.
tabla, harmonium,
We don't have tabla harmonium classes now.
art,
Art, okay, art system.
and the main course was heritage,
Ah,
which is Sanatana studies.
okay.
And I was the lucky one because I was the only Sanatani teacher. Nobody else. So I had 5 classes every Sunday. We moved to Sunday after that. After I joined, we moved to Sunday.
Okay.
Because kids needed to do, they have the sports activities on Saturdays. So we moved to Sunday.
This was before your marriage, before Gauram was
Yeah.
born, right?
So therefore, that's how I came to Vidya Kendra. And we didn't have any classrooms. You had spaces, open spaces.
Really?
It was totally open space.
Uh,
It was this building that we're in, but this hall wasn't built. That hall wasn't built. The big hall that is now there where we do our annual function,
program, yeah.
that was a mandir.
That was a mandir.
And the mandir that you're seeing here, was the hall for, people to do stuff. Then when they renovated the whole place, they started to make the mandir there.
Okay.
And we got to use this entire space was open, so we used pockets in these spaces. Like the offices were used for tabla and harmonium class. The main hall was used for Bharatanatyam. And you see that foyer out? There's a foyer over here with the door that comes in. With that door that we go outside. That area was my classroom. So imagine in the winter when there was no heat in that area, we would wear jackets and still study.
Oh my God. Okay, one more question. So, the students that you have taught here almost 25 years, right?
21 years.
21. Okay. So, students that you have taught here, the students that you have met here, do they ever come back and say that, Rajaramji, like, it was because of Vidya Kendra, we were saved from being deracinated, and we are still in touch with our dharma, and we are doing this and that for dharma. Like, what has been your assessment of the students that you have taught here over 21 years? How do they turn out? Like, I know it would be a big spectrum. There would be all kind of people. Some would turn out like very Hindu. Some would still get deracinated. But what is the overall assessment?
The thing is this, if you notice, Jayeshbhai, Tejal Ben, and few other teachers, all their kids come back every year to help us out with the annual functions, with the speech competitions, with Rangoli competitions.
Jeshbhai, Tejal Ben's family.
Guys that I'm just using them as an example because at this point, Jayeshbhai is our former principal who still stays with us and keeps us with us. Tejal Ben is very, very active with the Vishwa Hindu Pariship. And, this mandir is also her lifeline, just like mine.
Yes.
To both of us, this mandir and the kids are our lifeline.
It has been my lifeline for the last 2 years. So,
So
yeah.
the thing is this, that we've seen kids come back.
Okay.
And we've seen kids who moved on.
Not just come back, like when you
when those kids come back, they're very happy to come back and see the spot where they grew up, where they have their education, where they have this. Like, they still keep the tradition. They still vegetarians. They're still keeping tikka. They still do the puja. They still do everything. And they have
lifelong friends, and they made lifelong friends as well, right? Some of them, I guess so. Like they would be in touch after they would go to college, and they would still be good friends with the people.
In this place, I'd have to tell you one thing because, the school offers a different. Your regular schools are offering a different set of criteria and curriculum. We offer a different set and curriculum. These kids, when they are here in this mandir, in this school, they are true Bharatiya kids.
Yeah.
In a sense, we keep talking about discipline and stuff, but we also realize for a Bharatiya child, discipline comes as you get older.
Yeah.
Discipline does not come when you're a little kid. So you have kids scream, shouting and playing and stuff in the mandir. They're running around.
That is what I will miss the most.
And you know what? Maharaji also says, don't stop them. Our temple's Acharya ji is
Maharaj was little kid also,
he lets him also run. And you know, that's the one beauty about our culture that I had to say is that because we don't admonish the little child and we let that child be the child, they get it out of their system.
Right.
So as they're getting older, they start maturing in ways to want to be more successful rather than looking backwards for a childhood they never had.
Right.
They want success. They want education. There's a want and a desire to be ahead because we gave them the opportunity to be the child that they are. They become the adults that they are.
Yeah, Indians are already very competitive, at least in career and education, right? So, we are already known for being very cutthroat competitive.
I wouldn't say that in America that they are competitive because if one child does good, parents don't go home and tell their child, look, he's doing good, you're doing bad. It's not that. It's like
Some families do that as well.
very few. I'll be very honest with you. Very few do it now.
Okay.
When one child excels, the other parents will say, there's an opportunity to excel. Not look at what he did. Because that's causing animosity among the kids.
Yeah.
So my generation with our kids have realized not to do that. In America, we don't do that. If a child is excelling, if my friend's child is excelling, I am not going to be jealous because to me, I am not in my Bharat. I am not in my element over there. I am outside of my element where now my family is limited. So what friends I make become my family. And when we are like a family, why the animosity or why the jealousy?
I mean, that should be true even in Bharat. I mean, even in
And the
Bharat, they
thing
should
is
know.
this, guess what? Because they're best of friends, the child who excels is going to try to pull the other one up rather than to push him down.
Right.
Or rather than the child who's not doing good to be
That is
to
dharma.
pull them down.
Yeah.
So I've noticed one thing that living outside of India, we have been able to understand it there. We've been able to understand Bharat. We've been able to understand our dharma. We've been able to understand who we are. The one problem that we have is not the ones who came at my time, but the ones who are coming now with their kids. It's like they've been springed and that spring has gone loose and they don't know how to control themselves. And so what's happening? Their children are not learning our culture. They're not learning our heritage. To them only food. And this is the worst part. If you look at all over the world, the only thing you ask any culture, they can only refer to food. They cannot refer to their heritage.
Yeah.
Everything is either a dogma or food. There's nothing else. If you notice, we're the only ones who will have kirtans, satsangs, ashrams. We're the only ones who will do bhajan jamming, things to keep the heritage and our dharma alive.
Yeah.
And, we don't have one book. We don't have one form to pray to. We are one with men.
Yeah, that is the beauty of Sanatana Dharma.
But the problem that I have is when people say all gods are the same, that's not true. I'm sorry. In our dharma, we're taught Panch Dev Raksha Kare. And the Panch Dev are the only ones that you consider God. Hear me out.
Okay.
Surya, Ganesh,
Yes.
Mahadev, Mahavishnu, and Jagadamba. Ganeshji is Putra. So therefore, Kartikeya, Ayyappa, all these come under the Putra category.
Okay.
Suryadev is Mandal.
Right.
So all the gram mandals come under that. Mahadev is Rudra. So even Hanumanji comes under that. Okay. Mahavishnu is not 10 avatars. Mahavishnu has already taken 23 avatars.
Right. Yeah.
His 24th or the Maha avatar, Mahakalki, is yet to come.
Yeah.
And then finally, Jagadamba, Adi Parashakti, with Ma Lakshmi, Ma Saraswati, Adi Parashakti Parvati, Jagadamba Durga, Mahakali, Das Mahavidya, Nav Durga, Chauset Yoginya, Ashtamatrikai,
Right.
all come under that umbrella.
Yeah.
So therefore, out of the 5, there is no Deva. ये पांचों को छोड़ के इन पांचों के अंदर ही सब है.
That is true, but we have
When you-
Vedic devatas as well, like
Vedic-
Indra,
Indra comes under Surya.
Varuna,
Surya. Because of Surya comes under the entire mandal.
because these are Puranic devatas. Vedic devatas are little.
Vedic
Yeah.
Devtas,
And then we have Lok devatas as well.
Loka Devta we say because the thing is this, we also have Gram Devta,
Yeah.
Loka Devta.
Yeah.
But how many of you wake up in the morning and pray to your Gram Devta, your Loka Devta? How many times have you done
Not
that?
I do daily.
Thank you.
I will not forget
Yeah.
my Lok.
And in South India, whenever we do it,
Yeah,
we-
not most of the people don't do that nowadays, but that is, I feel, is even more essential than these devatas, because they are the first ones who quickly come to a rescue, right? Because they are not taking the responsibility of the whole world. They are more only responsible for their village people or their lineage,
as
right?
well-
So I feel Lok devatas come even faster than these devatas. That is,
But the Loka Devtas all come under Mahadev.
yeah. I mean,
They all come under Mahadev.
yeah, that is.
Gram Devta, Loka Devta
Mm.
come under Mahadev for protection.
Mhm. Yeah, sure.
Mahadev is not destruction.
No,
Please do not. There's one thing that I teach my kids.
those are
is that,
misconceptions.
you have creation, you have preservation, but then you have what's known as annihilation, not
Yeah.
destruction,
Yeah.
because annihilate the obstacles so you can move forward.
No, and plus, unlike the monotheistic faiths, Sanatan Dharma does not believe in final apocalypse, because even pralaya after pralaya, we have the other round of creation as well, and that is why we say antaha asti prarambha, right? So even if even if one chaturyogi or kalpa ends, another cycle of creation starts. So there is never a full end. Like
No.
Atma does not. There is no eternal hell or heaven, unlike monotheistic faiths in all faiths. Right? Our Atma keeps coming back to the different yonis, right?
So the thing is this, it's in different forms and different things that we will, but at one point, when we speak of, see, the thing is this, people don't, there's so much misconception.
There are a lot of
going on.
misconceptions. Yeah.
When we lost Takshashila, when we lost Nalanda, we lost so many scriptures. So what few scriptures that we have, we use them to understand. By the loss of these huge universities, we just didn't lose books, we just didn't lose that. We actually literally lost a full scriptural understanding of
We lost a whole civilization. Yeah.
scriptural understanding of what we are. So the thing is this, it's so easy to say, well, it's this. No, if you, Hinduism, Bharatiya Sanskriti, it was told to me in one way, which I loved. Samjho, samjhao. Nothing more. You understand? You could explain.
True.
Take a moment to understand and explain it all the way. You in yourself are the creation, the preservation, and the destruction. That's why when we sit in dhyana mudra, when we sit for dhyan, We don't keep our eyes open. We close our eyes. Why do we close our eyes? It's not just to sit in a peace and calm thing. No. Main purpose of dhyan is to awaken yourself. When they say self-realization, this is my humble understanding. I cannot speak for anybody else. I am not speaking for any other gurus. I'm not speaking for anybody else. Speaking for myself is that because we are human beings on the earth, our goal is not heaven.
Yeah, no, that's not
Our
a goal in
Sanatani
Sanatana
goal
Dharma.
is not heaven.
Nah, not in Sanatana.
And number two, we do not have an eternal hell.
Neither eternal heaven nor eternal hell. Once your papa.
No, the thing is this. There is, there is the seven lokes of the.
Yeah, there are Swarga Naraka, but there are temporary.
There are seven
temporary.
low and seven high,
Yeah.
and we are in the middle.
Yeah.
But the thing is this, our aim, like our kids' aim is to be successful, our Atma's aim is to move up.
Yes.
And so therefore, how do you move up? When you sit in your dhyan, this has been explained through Mahaship Puran.
Okay.
You must awaken yourself. Awakening yourself is to awakening your Kundalini Sharili. If your Kundalini is not awake, we are coming back over and over.
What I understand is
dhyan.
our purpose is union with the Devata. Whatever our Ishta Devata or Aradhya Devata is.
The union
You become one with the Devata.
The union comes with the awakening of the Kundalini Shakti. It is not outside of that.
Okay.
Anybody can challenge me, good for them, but without, in your past life, you could have awakened it. So you could be, rather than starting from the Monada, you could already be at Anhart. So if you're already here, you cannot. Here's the one thing, I'm a teacher. I tell everybody, I have to look at my students and see who stands at which level. I cannot turn around and say, well, you should know this. No. If your level is that,
That's true.
I need to get to that level to help you up.
Yep.
So if your Muladhara is not even open now.
That is what I write in my teaching statements when I apply to university. That is the exact line I write.
Good. Because thing is this, I'm also a university professor. I'm not just, I just don't come to Vidya Kendra. I'm also a university professor. And I've taught various different levels. And I've had children who've come to learn from me, budgeting and finance. And the first thing is they are scared of numbers. How could you learn budgeting and finance if you're scared of numbers? So as an instructor, as a teacher, as a professor, as a guru, your job is to take a step back and say, okay, I am glad to know that this is what you don't know. This is where your phobia lies. This is where you're scared of. Now what I can do is this. Now I can help you understand it and then elevate you up. So when we sit in dhyan, we are actually trying to understand and elevate ourselves up.
Right.
And in the dhyan, you're not in the dhyan for Lok Devta, you're not in the dhyan for Gram Devta, you're not in the dhyan for, the nakshatras. You're in the dhyan for yourself. And that dhyan is awoken by the Panchdev.
Okay.
That's my understanding.
What would you say so two questions. First is how would you define dharma for an American Hindu today? What is the dharma for an American, like American Hindu, and what should be the goal for an American Hindu? And let's start with the general definition of Hindu. I will tell mine and then you can continue. So like, according to me, what I feel is, like, this is a universal definition of Hindu, whether you are a Hindu in Bharat, US, South America, Caribbean, anywhere, that idol worshipper, okay, you cannot Yeah, there are Nirguna Brahma Upasaks in Hinduism, but at least you should not oppose or see idol. You should not oppose Murti Puja and see idol worship as inferior. Polytheist, what I feel that should be one of the mandatory criteria for being a Hindu. Um, Nature worshipper, right? Worshipping Surya, Chandra, Nadiyan, rivers, and mountains and all. Then Punarjanam believer. That is, if you are a Hindu, I feel that it's a mandatory that you should believe in rebirth, and if you believe in only YOLO, you only live once nowadays. I think that is not what a Hindu like. That is not a qualifying criteria for Hindu. If you believe in only one birth and ancestor worship of, that is for me, like these 5 criteria according to me should define a Hindu. What do you have to say?
Again, we're back to 5 with Ashwin. In order to be a Dharman, number 1, put all dogmas aside. Put all restrictions aside. Put all controls aside.
Okay.
Total freedom.
Okay.
That's the very first criteria, is to understand freedom. Freedom doesn't mean that my freedom imposes yours. Freedom does not mean I have the right to come and impose myself on you.
And freedom does not mean that you can eat beef and still be a Hindu. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Sure.
The thing is this.
Uh,
Put all rules, regulations aside for 1 minute.
Okay.
Sit and explain to me, who are you? No, I don't want to know your body. I don't want to know your character. I want to know who you are. That is the first and last thing.
Okay.
That should be the first question asked when you're born. That is a final answer when you have reached moksha.
Okay.
Because that has no answer to it. Because who are you is so difficult to explain.
That is very philosophical, yeah. That's
Like
the
I'm asking,
basic of
so
Advaita,
therefore, being a Sanatani
yeah.
is to be philosophical.
Yeah, it's true.
So I got Aishwarya ji to give me the answer of this whole question, number 1.
Okay.
Number 2, we are not polytheistic. We are henotheistic. Here's where the biggest problem is.
Yes.
Polytheism means this God is this God, that God is... No. There's a saying in Sikhism which applies so much to us. Aman hai, nidan hai. Anek hai, ant mein phir ek hai.
Ekam sakta bahu vipra bahuda vipra vadanti. I might commit some mistakes, but that is the
That's the exact thing.
There's one Ishwara, but it's defined in different
The thing
ways.
is this. We have the concept of the divinity. But we also have the concept of divinity of 3 in 1. But 3 in 1 in multiple ways. First one is Nirankar. That you said, Brahman, that's of
Nirgun Brahma, yeah.
Nirgun Brahman. That's Nirankar. No shape, no form.
Yeah.
Not a male,
Yeah.
not a female.
That is
nobody's
very
husband,
Advaita,
nobody's wife.
yeah.
The thing is this. It is such a concept so far removed that we may think we understand it,
No, most
but
of the people
because
don't.
we do not understand, even Swayam Sri Krishna said, that form is very difficult for
Yeah.
you to understand.
You
The
should start with
second
that
form-
first, yeah.
Second form given is Shabd Brahmad.
Okay.
It is called the word,
Om.
the magic word. Different dogmas have used the word, because they hear it from us. They think it's so wonderful. They plagiarize us, but have no concept what that means. The word, Shabd Brahmad, That is not just a word. Please understand. That is the key to open the door. Don't forget, this entire universe is ultimate reality, is a vibration that's moving on. You and I are vibrations sitting here. So, the ultimate reality, to open that spiritual door and walk in, is Shabda Brahman, which is Om, as she said, Omkar. And finally, the third is Sakar, the form that we see. The form that we see through multiple Purans comes to the same conclusion. Here's the thing, we don't have one which comes to different conclusions. We have different which come to the same conclusion. Whether you look at Shiv Puran, you look at Markandeya Puran, you look at Mahavishnu Puran, you look at Bhagavati Puran, you look at Bhagavatam. When you look at all these Purans, ultimate reality is given to you. Awaken yourself, awaken and recognize the fact that you and the divine
And Purnamadam Purnamidam
are one.
Yeah. And Purnamadam Purnamidam explains it very well, that even if you take like the Ishvara is one, but even if you take some part out of it, it still remains
remains the full.
That is the debate I had with a girl almost 5 years ago. She was not a Hindu, and she was having this stand that, if Ishvara takes forms, then there's no Ishvara there. Then if the Ishvara comes here on earth, then there's no God in the sky. I said that Purnamidam, it's
But one thing that everybody,
he's omnipresent. He or she is omnipresent.
the main thing that everybody is, you could, there are cultures that only can see black and white.
Yeah, exactly.
They cannot see gray, they cannot see differences. They see.
But this girl was
right?
Indian. She was from Indic religion. She was.
Doesn't matter. Either you're right or you're wrong. There's no other way. And the problem is this, because of an educational system that says you must be disciplined, you must be controlled, you must follow these rules and regulations, or else be punished.
Yeah.
Because of that, a lot of people have lost the concept. A lot of people have lost the concept. They don't even realize which direction to take.
Yeah.
So therefore, ultimately, as I said, Vidya Kendra drew me here. I am so grateful to come here. I have my little ones. I expound my knowledge to them, and I have people like you that I meet. So I feel so blessed that I'm giving back in a country outside of Bharat. And here's the one thing I want to say. Being a Sanatani is not Indian, please.
Yeah.
Being Sanatani is Indian is because we are the only ones who maintain the heritage. But there are people who are beyond India who are Sanatanis. Yeah. Dr. David Frawley.
Yeah.
Stephen Knapp.
Yeah, there's so many.
Dharma Pravartik Acharya. I would highly recommend everyone to see Dr. Frank Morales' Dharma Pravartik Acharya.
We have an amazing professor at Rutgers. What was the name? Edwin Bryant? Edwin Bryant, right?
Yeah.
So, what would you like to say for American Hindus? Like, what is the way forward for American Hindus? How can an American Hindu reconcile both the identities that, his or her ancestral lineage from Bharat and his Americanness, like nationality? Like, what is the way forward for an American Hindu?
For the new generation that is coming up, my only thing will be, you are so lucky because there is a whole social media available. But social media comes in both negative and positive. You, as a generation who will be carrying our heritage forward, my main thing would be, my suggestion would be to you guys not to look at anything negative. All positive videos that you could see about Hinduism, Sanatan Dharma, whether it's from an Indian perspective, whether it's from a non Indian perspective, when they're explaining it to you, like Jeffrey Armstrong teaches the Bhagavad Gita, he's not an Indian. Our own, very own, former director of national intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, how did she maintain her Hinduism when she's not even Indian? Her parents are not Indian. There's no Indianness in her. I met her. She's a wonderful, wonderful, proud Sanatani who has served the United States military proudly.
Yeah.
So, therefore, if we could have people like her who are non Indians maintaining a heritage before time, we as Bharatees who already have it, why can't we just keep our faith alive?
And I would like to add that it's not that you should not watch negative videos about Hinduism. Watch it. There are hundreds of people criticizing Hinduism on social media. Take those questions, take those questions to some learned person. Go to some Hindu who can explain those questions to you, that what they are saying, what is the reason that people would come up with things about sati pratha, idol worship, hundreds of other things, restrictions on this, that. Take those questions, come to someone who is a practicing Hindu, who likes to read our scriptures and texts, who can answer those questions, get those questions answered. I guess 80 or 90% of the questions will get answered easily that way. There would some doubts would remain always, but then it's also the intention of the person who was criticizing Hinduism in that video also matters, because if you ask the same questions to that person's faith who would be making those videos, they would be able to defend their faith, right? So
Just to add to what you just said,
yeah,
to our kids, most of our kids are going into IT anyway, and now into AI.
yes.
Well, IT and AI, before this stuff, we had Steve Jobs and then Mark Zuckerberg. They both became successful only after they visited the Kanchi Dham Neem Karoli Baba's ashram. So if non-Hindus, those who have no idea about Hinduism, go to an ashram in Rishikesh area and gain the power to start something, you already have it. Why give it up for someone else? It is for us to say, hey, the thing is this, when you're a Sanatani, it doesn't matter where you are. When you say you're a Sanatani, you have the right to come back home.
Yeah.
They say there's no way going home. Yeah. Ram Bhagwan taught us we celebrate Diwali because it is homecoming.
Yeah.
Homecoming is not in high school alone at the football game. Ram Bhagwan did homecoming long time back.
Yeah.
He did it 14,000 years ago.
Bharat's doors will be always open for all the Hindus around the world. Anytime anyone can come and settle in Bharat, come and visit our dhams and tirthas. That is what Bharat and the whole
my point is just to say that I'm Sanatani means I'm home.
Yeah.
Because when you are something else besides Sanatani, you're in somebody else's house.
And one thing I would like to say, which only American Hindus can do, which not even Hindus in Bharat can do for Dharma, is, as you said, AI. So AI is what? Basically training our large language models on all the texts that is available, right? Now, AI's roots are in US. They are not elsewhere. They are only in US, right? US companies own AI, they run AI. So American Hindus should do, and even other Hindus should also contribute, is that right now this AI is being trained on very anti-Hindu and Hindu-phobic stuff.
Yep.
They are training it on books published by Audrey Truschke, these kind of people, and all the all the Hindu-phobic newspapers and Western media, Indian media, which have published thousands of negative things about Sanatan Dharma. Hindus in US should do that. They should make sure that AI is trained on right stuff, and then when somebody asks questions related to Hinduism and our traditions, it is the right stuff that is answered. That is the first text that comes up, and not the things from the Wire or BBC or
No.
That's
It's, that's like keep telling, please don't look at the negative right now. Understand the whole thing through the positive lenses. And then when you hear the negativity, you will realize it's a narrative being said. It's not the truth.
Because it's if you are a 14-year-old American Hindu kid who wants to ask something on AI, and the AI first of all quotes scroll and twint and wire and autotrusky, then the person would never be able to even
Exactly. That's
like have any faith in Hinduism. No Shraddha will be there. So I think American Hindus have a very big role to play for dharma, because see, it's the resources and money are here in US. If American Hindus, if somebody in the world can use the resources and money for the right purposes, it's the American Hindus sitting in US who can do that. Not even Hindus in Bharat can do that much, because they do not have as much resources, money, technology, and everything. So I think this was the purpose of this podcast, to awake, rejuvenate and resurrect the dharma and Hindus in America. I wish Jayesh Bhai was here. It could have been more fun. He could have mentioned something about 60s and 70s of US as well. But it was nice talking to you, Rajarandi. Thank you for taking out your time.
जी बहुत बहुत साथ रहा था आपका.
And we hope that this podcast helps in those in US, and when the Vidya Kendra kids grow up, when they watch this podcast, it would be nostalgic for them.
Exactly.
Namaste, Radhe Radhe.
Namaste. Jai Shri Ram.